Hello chat, welcome to another one of these watch-alongs. Yesterday's watch-along we only had one, and that was the England vs Croatia game. England won 1-0. So far in the Euros we have had Turkey versus Italy. Italy won 3-0. Wales vs Switzerland 1-1, and that was match day 1, so that means in first Italy, second Wales, third Switzerland, fourth Turkey. In Group B, Denmark 0, Finland 1. Please put your prayers in for Christian Eriksen. Belgium 3, Russia 0. So that puts Belgium first, Finland second, Denmark third, Russia fourth. And in Group C, Austria 3, North Macedonia 1. Holland 3, Ukraine 2. And in Group D, so in first, second, third, fourth. First Austria, second Holland, third Ukraine, fourth North Macedonia. And in Group D, England vs Croatia, England won 1-0. And don't forget, today at 2 PM was Scotland versus Czech Republic, and Scotland lost 2-0. So that means Czech Republic is in first, second England, third Croatia, fourth Scotland. That's a surprising game, but let's get into the game coming up next. Poland vs Slovakia, then at 8 PM I'll try to stream it. Spain vs Sweden, Robert Lewandowski, probably the best player playing on the pitch today. Look at that, Robert Lewandowski. So let me quickly get it all set up for you guys for the match to watch along.
And a warm welcome on what is an ideal night for football, you've got to say. My name is Derek Ray. With me in the commentary position is the former Arsenal and England defender Lee Dixon. And we're about to bring you headers and volleys action. It's Poland, and they take on Slovenia.
Yeah, thank you, Derek. Only goals scored from headers and volleys, direct from set pieces count. All conventional goals will be invalid. I can't wait for this one. I used to love playing in games like this when I was a kid.
Which is exciting. So, Poland versus Slovakia. If I quickly get it all set up, please it's on BBC iPlayer. But BBC, it could be on both, but I think it's even more work for me if it's on ITV. BBC
This is the
One.
lineup for the home team. Wing-backs are important in this setup.
No,
Did you enjoy
it
your
is
experience
on
of playing at wing-back, Lee?
Not at all under Bruce Rock. It's a
ITV.
very, very demanding role, as we can see. The full-backs are exposed both offensively and defensively. Lots of support inside them, but going forward they need to try and get the ball into the box for the two up front.
Is watch live. Here we go. In 14 minutes the match will start. Let me quickly say the squads.
Pretty well balanced, this formation, Lee.
Yeah, it can be a 4-2-3-1 in the offensive mode,
squads
but it can also go back to a 4-5-1
for
when you're
Poland today.
defending.
Szczesny in goal, in defence Berezicki, Gillick, Benderek and Ribas. In midfield, Nanetti, Krijovic and Klitsch. In attacking, Jozovic, Lewandowski and Zelensky. For Slovakia today, Duvraka in goal, Habokan, Skrina, Satka, Perikek in defence, Hromada, Guja, Mac Hamsik and Haralison in midfield, and up front, all on his own, is Duda. So, let's get into it then. In 13 minutes will be the match. I'll be gone for a little bit to eat my dinner. So, listen to the commentary.
The standing keeper, Marek Rodak, was the penalty shootout to seal the Republic of Ireland. And then a late own goal by Skriniar forced the playoff final against Northern Ireland to go to extra time. Mikel Juris strike led to scenes of pure joy as they qualified for a second European challenge.
Camille Gleek. Rebus with it.
The UEFA Euro 2020 is sponsored by...
Right, I'll be waiting here until the game starts because I don't want any ads. So, my prediction is definitely a Poland win. Can't not be a Poland win. I will be surprised if Slovakia beat Poland. Probably Poland. We've had some big games. Like big scoring games like Turkey, Italy, how that was 3-0. Belgium, Russia 3-0. Austria, North Macedonia 3-1. Holland, Ukraine 3-2. But this Poland game, I think it's going to be hard to get past Disney, but probably not that hard. And Gibraltar, that would be really easy. I'm saying 3-1 Poland. Lewandowski with a hat-trick. That's my predictions. As I said, at 8 PM Spain versus Sweden, and that'll be it for Group E. Then tomorrow will be the group of death, which is really, really exciting. France, Germany at 8 PM. I really want to stream that. I hope I can. So, 10 more minutes until the actual game. Let's see, because I do these FIFA predicts. I really need to do it today because I've only done, I haven't done Group F yet. I've done Spain, Sweden. I don't know if I've done Spain, Sweden. Uh-oh.
And Lewandowski running with the ball.
Spain, Sweden, come on. Come on.
Lost possession. Biol. Options in the centre.
I need to have dinner. This Austria North Macedonia game didn't go up yesterday, so that's going to go up right now.
Scuppered there. Mateusz Klich. Lewandowski now.
The Denmark was Finland prediction. That's going up.
And the challenge, crisp and clean.
So yeah, I don't think I have done Poland, Slovakia either. So the prediction will come in a bit, probably tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna go eat dinner now. See you in a bit.
And that will be the keeper's ball. Straightforward piece of goalkeeping.
Easy to find exact locations. It has divided the whole world up into 3 meter squares. That's about the size of a parking spot. Each square has been given a what 3 words address made of 3 words. So you can find every business.
And clears his lines.
Every entrance. Or anywhere at all, really. Next time you need to find somewhere, use what 3 words? Tribe, panels, clasping.
Mateusz Klich.
And you'll know exactly where to go.
And now Arkadiusz Milik. An early goal. It is the ideal opening.
UEFA Euro 2020 is sponsored by Just Eat.
Around 30,000 fans.
Well, this is definitely worth another look. Superb interplay, so slick, and he gets up for the header, and quite frankly, it's a lovely finish. Brilliant goal.
Was necessary because of COVID
restrictions. A chance to revisit the goal.
In Ireland. So we're talking about Slovakia. This is their second Euros. They reached the second round in 2016, but the Poles only 1 win in 7 in all competitions. You've got Sweden and Spain in this group. Spain obviously be favourites, but I'd have thought the other 3 will be thinking there's some good jostling positions to be had behind.
Yeah, you look at the other 3, Mark, I wouldn't say there's an awful lot between them, you know, and looking at Poland, full enough, you know, they haven't,
the opening goal of the game then.
Particularly in opening games in this competition. But clearly, as we saw earlier on today, when we saw England, vital you go off to a good start. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for Scotland today. But these 2 teams are going to, they'll fancy their chances, that's for sure.
Looking confident with the ball at his feet.
Yeah, it's a weird-looking Spain squad, and we got highlights tonight at 10:45. Got no Real Madrid players in it, which is, frankly, it seems ridiculous to say, doesn't it? It's
quite controversial.
Do they mean business on this occasion?
Definitely thinks it's controversial, yes.
But I think, yeah, we
they keep
talking,
passing
Real
away.
Madrid players are slightly older.
Yasmin Kurtic.
Justifies picking
in position.
Squad, players in form. But, you know,
making sure nothing untoward happened. Superb tackle.
Open, particularly with the third spot.
Now he must favour the cross.
Well.
Absolutely, there's always that. OK, time to go. That's such a shame for the Irish capital. And it means that this is the second game in 7 in St. Petersburg, Russia's old imperial capital, after the game was taken away from Dublin. So let's join our commentary team of Emma Hayes. And first, it's good afternoon to our match commentator, Sam Matterface.
Thanks, Mark. Good afternoon, everyone. If you've rushed home to see the best striker on the planet, you've tuned in just in time. Robert Lewandowski is the current Men's World Player of the Year. He has just broken Gerd Müller's 40-year-long scoring record in the Bundesliga.
Milik.
He is his country's all-time leading scorer. But at major tournaments, his impact has been limited.
Milik.
He scored the opening goal for the Poles 9 years ago in Warsaw. Scored in the quarter-final 5 years ago. But that is about as far as it goes as far as European Championships and World Cups are concerned. If he is going to create headlines on the international stage, this is going to be it. And he'll continue a trend of Bundesliga goal scorers in this tournament so far. It is the league that has provided the most strikes up until this point. But don't expect a fast start when these 2 teams eventually emerge from the St. Petersburg tunnel. Most of the goals we've seen in this competition up until now have come in the second half.
Zielinski.
Trying to stop Lewandowski is one of the Italian league's best defenders.
And here's Zielinski.
Milan Skriniar is Slovakia's most accomplished defender. Not the back of a stellar season with Inter Milan.
Everything in their power to make sure they're not pegged back.
The Russian giant Artem Zubak in a recent World Cup qualifier kept him very quiet indeed.
Well, here's the replay, and enjoy the play. It's lovely to watch. Superb passing, and I bet he can't believe the time and space he's got to simply knock the ball into the net. No jump needed, too easy.
So 2-0 now. He's protecting it well, and he takes it away. He's using his strength to good effect and giving it away. Bijol. Yasmin Kurtic. Spora. Bijol. Well, potential danger. Yasmin Kurtic. Balkovets. Spora. Bijol. Well, when you sit off like this, you invite pressure. Yasmin Kurtic. Oh, great vision. He just needs to keep a cool head. And still trying to get the shot off. Oh, stellar defensive work to get back and win possession. Now they've lost it. Oh, lovely ball. Oh, good hands there from the keeper. He's given us away. But he keeps going. Yasmin Kurtic. And it's with Ilicic. Really nice ball. Well, he's given a corner, the referee. Firing it into the area. Relatively straightforward to mop up defensively.
Group E gets underway in the next few minutes in St. Petersburg.
Couldn't keep it.
Poland against Slovakia is next.
UEFA Euro 2020 is sponsored by Volkswagen.
Maciej Rybus.
Booking a Verbo holiday home means leaving all the craziness behind. Well, maybe not all of it. Crazy feels good when it has room to spread out in a place on the beach. It just feels like a holiday, where the family can get away together.
Petar Stojanovic.
A home of your own that's perfectly not your own.
It's opening up for them.
Book today and get away together with
Yasmin
Verbo.
Kurtic. That's how to dispossess your opponent. Perfectly positioned to take it away. Petar Stojanovic.
UEFA Euro 2020 is sponsored by Just Eat.
Yasmin Kurtic. Well, they'll be happy to have regained possession.
Welcome back. This game is in St. Petersburg. It's about 18 degrees. Paolo Sosa does like to pair two front men, but Lewandowski has lost two potential strike partners to injury over the last few weeks, so support comes from Napoli's Piotr Zielinski. Slovakia include the Mohawked Marek Hamšík. You'll pick him out in a lineup. And Serie A champion Ilian Skriniar, whose centre-half partner Lubomir Saka plays in Poland and rates Lewandowski as the best forward.
All that difficult for Oblak to save.
To learning that. There is Marek Hamšík, who has spent a bit of time in Gothenburg in Sweden trying to get up to fitness
Unable to keep the ball.
Ending prematurely his stay in the Chinese
Super League. Get ready for the throw-in.
Poland in white, Slovakia in blue and
Maciej
black.
Rybus.
Manager who led Chelsea's winning to the Champions League final. Emma Hayes is with me.
The hosts are struggling in terms of possession, but they won't mind. They're winning this game. And why? Because their counter-attack is absolutely fantastic.
Between him and the wonderful centre-back, Skriniar, plays for Inter Milan. He's had a wonderful season.
A really top-notch piece of defending.
I think it'd be interesting to see how
they do something positive on the counter-attack.
The type of player that he's used to at Bayern Munich.
Can they take advantage of the situation?
Thomas Muller alongside
Can he finish?
So, to me, that's the key battle.
Well, sadly, no goal. Remember, for it to be a goal, it has to be courtesy of a header, direct from a set piece, or a volley.
And Slovakia in a more traditional 4-2-3-1. So I think it's all about the midfield overloads for Poland and whether they can exploit it.
Krokowiak is getting some early attention.
Certainly, in the early challenges, I think for Poland, we know that not too strong defensively from set pieces, but attacking-wise, it's clear that Lewandowski, clear threat from set pieces and from crosses.
And that's gone out of play for what will be a goal kick.
Jóźwiak of Derby County, dispossessed. Moramada trying to get away, and he is stopped illegally by Grzegorz Krokowiak. Referee today is Ovidiu Hatzigan from Romania.
I think on the flip side as well for Slovakia, been so efficient from set pieces. Scored 4 from their last 10. We spoke about Skriniar in particular, but he's a real focal point for them. Very good in the air.
Lewandowski. Robert Lewandowski with an incisive pass.
Marek Hamšík taking charge of this.
Well read to ease the pressure.
Set piece. Slovakian captain. His 127th cap tonight.
Ilicic.
Robert Mack also standing alongside him.
Petar Stojanovic.
Skriniar and Sapka.
Bijol.
Up from the back to try and cause a few problems.
And it's with Ilicic.
5 yards back from the edge of the area.
To deliver the
good
cross.
Delivery. It's heading back across the face of goal and dealt with pretty well by Lewandowski. He got back to help his defence out. Jóźwiak trying to escape.
Open up the defence here.
Certainly the set pieces we were talking about, the run from deep, looking to be offside trap. That's well defended at the back post, something Poland has
on the
to
offensive.
Well, because Slovakia will play for those situations. They'll be patient. They'll sit in. Slovakia look to counter quite quickly.
Well, a successful intervention, winning the ball back.
That midfield with Moramada alongside Kucka.
And Lewandowski moving through the gears.
Will give them even more of a presence in set pieces, which will be key.
That's a nice looking ball.
Zielinski.
Well clattered away.
Neat turn. Lewandowski going from distance, might ricochet into somebody else's path. Didn't quite come on for Poland. Kucka trying to clear. Was immediately under pressure.
Really good interception
from Lenete. Zielinski and Krokowiak. Just losing
Zielinski.
Footing.
Well, that's a well-timed pass, and he's found a bit of daylight.
Slovakian counter-attack, and that is probably another good route for them.
Zielinski.
They're not a great team in possession. It's Paulo Sousa, you might remember him from the Premier League. He's formerly of Swansea City,
it's going to be
Rangers. A very short spell in charge of Leicester City as well. Presence on the Portuguese
easy one to cut out, really.
Zielinski looking for Lewandowski. They decided to try and come back inside with a little Cruyff turn, and that sort of closed the angle down. Dangerous pass yet. Skriniar up there with a header.
Surely! I don't think the goalkeeper will be complaining about poor finishing like that, Lee.
No, it's not about the goalkeeper, it's about that poor effort. It really is awful.
Lewandowski to be in positions.
Being pressed
again,
hard.
The cross into a dangerous area, well defended. A good start from Poland.
Now Krokowiak.
Czech leaving the throw-in for
and Bednarek.
Kamil Jóźwiak. Was the architect Jóźwiak of a comeback against Hungary in the World Cup qualifiers in England's group back in March. And Paulo Sousa's first game in charge of Poland.
He's very adept at protecting the ball.
They were defensively all over the place. Such a high line which was ruthlessly exposed on a number of occasions. Jóźwiak came off the bench. He wasn't the only one. Provided opportunities. And his team
a throw in here.
Ended up drawing the game 3-3.
And the cross is very much on.
Position today. I think they're going to have to.
It was a menacing attack, but tidied up.
You can see in the picture the work.
That is how to apply the pressure.
Much like Italy did in the opening game against Turkey. We know that Poland have got the qualities with Lewandowski, but I think it's about how his teammates play around to create the right situations, because
and that will be the keeper's ball.
Service that he's used to at Bayern Munich.
High pressing at its best.
Armada had broken from midfield. No out-and-out striker in this Slovakian team. Duda probably playing the highest up out of all of them.
Bednarik. Well, possession is the watchword inside their own territory.
Breaking from midfield is right at the top of the picture, but this is Zielinski.
Mateusz Klich. Arkadiusz Milik. This is Robert Lewandowski.
A bit more aggressive. Here is Jóźwiak. Lenete trying to feed Zielinski.
Mateusz Klich. And playing it to the goalkeeper.
I think the thing for Poland, as we've mentioned at the beginning, is they'll look to play in a three-back system in possession, without possession. They will go into a 4-4-2.
And he read it well, intercepting it.
Transition from attack to defending.
Well, if you're wondering about added time, 2 minutes it'll be.
I'm interested to see how they handle that, considering Slovakia are a team that like to transition very quickly. They're very direct. They won't do it with a lot of numbers, but they won't look to do it with a lot of build-up either.
And on the ball wearing 18.
We saw the situation developing.
Poland is one of the reasons that they can do that. They can flex their shape. Berezinski plays as a right back.
Really closing him down here. Did look as though they had attacking momentum, but not so.
Jóźwiak.
Bijol.
Nudge there. Kucka, who is a bit of a card magnet.
And it's with Ilicic.
It's the right decision.
Pretty comfortable piece of defending.
A little bit of space on the outside. It's quite congested centrally. Slovakia, as I mentioned, defending quite low. I could see this being a game of a lot of wide area free kicks, considering the positions that Poland are looking to take up.
Maciej Rybus of Lokomotiv Moscow. He's been here a few times before.
Over it comes. Well, they couldn't take advantage of the chance. Corner once more.
It's clear, Dubravka. Lenete. Click. Intelligent ball looking for Lewandowski. There's a lot of early Polish pressure.
And now the delivery. No nonsense clearance.
Poland, it's good tempo, recovered a lot of the second balls, certainly used the full area of the pitch really well. They got good width.
That is that
depth.
for the.
It's just penetrating at the right moments. They have to find those situations without Lewandowski coming low. You can see he's holding a high position.
Zielinski, a charge through. Jóźwiak. Decent ball towards the far post, is dealt with once again, this time by Saka, who gets crunched under the challenge.
And now they get the ball rolling.
That's brilliant, one and two touch play.
And now Arkadiusz Milik.
Fantastic back post ball, so difficult to defend, out swinging.
And there they go.
Wonderful defending.
It is the ideal opening.
It's actually Pekarik who gets up there and then gets pushed to the floor by Rybus.
Lewandowski, and here's Zielinski.
Who's won the league in Germany with Wolfsburg before a 9-year stint with Hertha Berlin. He's a really serious professional.
Again. They're doing everything in their power to make sure they're not pegged.
Works incredibly hard to maintain his fitness and standards, Pekarik. His wife is the star of the Slovakian version of Strictly.
Really?
toes.
They're certainly going to have to use all these foot skills today.
Chat, I am back.
Plenty to consider based on what we've seen so far as the second half begins.
Started their last game, a warm-up game against Iceland on the front foot, and then conceded, and that really was a sucker punch. It sort of took the wind out of their sails.
The real match isn't the one
Good physical play.
that is on the screen. The real match is actually the one that you can.
His opposite number today hasn't much time on his hands to prepare.
Is actually 0-0.
He was appointed just before the dramatic play.
And it's the 12th minute.
Ireland, so he's still searching for the right tactical plans.
Well, as you can see, it's really superb play. He thinks a lot quicker than anyone else. He gets his head on it. It's a great finish.
Grizzly team really do their best work on
the goal again, albeit from a different angle.
I mean, it's clear they're organised, they're well drilled. They'll be difficult to break down. You can see Poland's use of the ball, trying to stretch them vertically, horizontally. They have to wear them down, create the right situations at the right time for Lewandowski, because there's no space in between the lines for him to come short.
So there we have it, 2-1.
Here is one of those quick turnovers.
Mathieu Ribus.
Sprinting forward. This is Duda.
Ribus. Bednarek. Hanging on to the ball in this fashion suits them. Zielinski. It's with Milik. And now Zielinski. This is Robert Lewandowski.
From Hubachan and puts his goalkeeper into a spot of bother. Some of the most crisp of passes back to Martin Dubravka.
It's with Berezinski.
Duda is so key to Slovakia's transitions today. You can see he likes to
now
roll
Krychowiak.
in those forward areas.
Mathieu Ribus. Zielinski.
Bombshell wearing number 8.
Mateusz Klich.
Trying to work shooting opportunity, and he's done just that.
Arkadiusz Milik. Couldn't quite find his teammate.
Slovakia nearly just scored. Narrowly right.
He's using his strength to
So
good
close,
effect.
but the goalkeeper would have got there anyway.
Into a good shooting position.
Spora.
Taken more than that to be Chesney at the near post.
Bijol. Yasmin Kurtic.
Poland didn't qualify for a European
Shielding the ball
Championship until
superbly.
2008. They were quarter-finalists in 2016.
He got nothing but ball. He's conceded the corner.
Portugal on penalties. Really tight game that. There have been quite a few changes behind the scenes. Things aren't exactly settled or more on the pitch. They've only won one of their last 5 competitive matches.
Played into the centre of the box. What a vital intervention.
Taking over. And there was a foul, which the referee wants to bring the game back.
I think that's a danger for Slovakia when they're building up. You can see they've got a lot of players on the outside of the pitch. So whenever they play centrally, really difficult for them to get numbers around the ball. In the turnover.
So the corner played into the box. Well, the timing was good, but the attempt too high.
Opportunity for Mathieu Ribus to try and craft something. She benefited from the change of coach actually, because he was out of the picture under the previous guy. Sredsa didn't impress during the first game, and has actually picked up an injury. So
Yasmin Kurtic.
Ribus has
Bijol.
claimed his position in the Polish starting 11. Might aim for
Ilicic.
here. Kowiak.
And the ball with Stojanovic.
Free kick to Poland.
Bednarek of Southampton is
Bijol. Under pressure. Doesn't seem to be bothering him.
central defender.
Miha Mevlia.
Just got blocked out of it.
Ilicic.
Maybe a little bit too heavy.
Throw into Slovakia.
Yasmin Kurtic.
Wasn't the best
Well, they keep passing away. In behind for him to chase. It could have been awkward for the goalkeeper. And a corner kick, the referee's verdict.
I think Slovakia will be happy with the start, considering the amount of possession that Poland have restricted them. It's largely efforts down the side, but not too much happening.
And firing it into the area. Attending to his defensive chores. Well, thumped clear.
Another one who's used to life in the grassroots, plays for Lokomotiv Moscow. Hello, Sosa. Trying to G up his team.
Bijol.
Only won one game under him. That was against Andorra.
Spora. Bohar. An inability to keep hold of the ball there.
Andorra, Hungary and England in competitive games.
Mateusz Klich.
In March. He hadn't met the squad up until that international meet-up. He did most of his conversations.
Well, strong play here.
Meetings prior to
Arkadiusz Milik. It's with Berezinski.
Slovakia.
It's with
Shot.
Milik.
And it's in! Slovakia are 1-0 up.
What a wonderful
Now can they counter clinically?
Put Slovakia in front.
All hands on deck.
No way.
Robert Mack.
Well, can they find the magic they need from this corner?
Slovakia are beating Poland.
Well, we can sit here and dissect the defending, but let's talk about this wonderful attacking play from Mack. He's 1v2.
Mack scores.
The defender, and I think
Substitution time it is.
He shoots from the near, by the near post. It hits the post and goes in. It ricochets off the post.
Over it comes. A really disappointing effort, you've got to say.
Well, he's way off target. A real poor effort with his head.
Irregardless, Szczesny should do better at the near post.
Well, Wojciech Szczesny has stole the show on opening night of major tournaments before.
It did come off of Szczesny's head though, so it's a known goal.
He got injured in the first game of 2016's European Championships and made a huge mistake against Senegal in 2018. And I think he will feel as if he should have kept that one out.
Mihad Zaitz. Well, they want that equaliser, but the passing remains smooth. And options in the centre. Preferring to go infield. Looks promising, this.
Poland needs a goal now.
Mihad Zaitz. And there to intervene.
I'm going to get one.
To run at them. Bijol. Making use of his physical strength to hang on to it. This could square the game. Oh, but no!
That is the question.
Flashed in front of his eyes. Couldn't take the chance.
Oh, it's a big chance, it really is. He's in the right position, but then he just fluffs his lines.
Free kick. Took quickly.
But UEFA have credited that goal to Wojciech Szczesny, just to continue the trend.
Well, like I said, I think Matt gets into that area. Szczesny has the post covered originally, but that touch, slight touch from Glick, just changes the direction slightly.
Poland need another goal. I don't know what to say.
And they continue to advance, and a lot of options here. Oh, lovely ball. You never really know, Lee, if it's going to come off when you hit it on the volley in that fashion.
Yeah, 0-0. When he struck that, you think, wow, and then all of a sudden you realise where it's gone.
If you're Poland, I said you're 2v1 in a wide area, Max facing the touchline. You can't let him out of those areas, and I think then when he comes into the box, Glick then comes out at the right moment, but doesn't get enough on it to deflect it for a corner.
Ilicic.
It's the same sort of pattern, though, Emma, of the game.
And the ball with Stojanovic.
They played against Iceland, where they
Mihad Zaitz
dictated the ball, probed, looked the better team in the first 10-15 minutes, and then ended up
Jasmin Kurtic
punching it
on the
took
offensive.
them a little while to get restarted again.
There was probably
great read there to intercept.
They turned the ball over, they kicked it out of play. You can see Poland looking a little frustrated. This is a game of focus and concentration.
Zielinski.
Jóźwiak. Looking for Kowiak. And did he just tug back?
Oh, he's through here.
Hromada.
Well, what an opportunity, but really good defending, you've got to say.
That's the challenge they've got.
And that is going to be a free kick.
The role of those two central midfielders is to stop counter-attacks.
Mihad Zaitz.
It's been too easy for Slovakia to come out. And whether we like it or not, that's a yellow card.
Bijol.
Well, Kowiak is the recipient of that.
Couldn't keep it. Well, the counter chance looks very real.
2 Europa Leagues with Sevilla before.
Can they take advantage of the situation?
PSG.
And back with Lewandowski.
With West Bromwich Albion as well.
Gives it a go. Oh, wonder goal!
It's a game of
right out of the top drawer. Who could do better than that?
For Poland, keep their discipline, their concentration. It's only 1-0.
Kowiak in the book, but also the left full-back.
Well, here's the replay, and that passing and movement is pure quality, and the timing to get this spot on. Yes, it needs a bit of luck, but boy, does it need skill as well. It's a brilliant goal.
Jóźwiak stopped in his tracks by Hromada.
It's all inside centrally for Slovakia, and of course the goal allows them to get their towels up. But
so there it is, 3-1 the current scoreline here.
He started brightly, but they're outnumbered in the central area. They've got to find a way to create the overload.
Yasmin Kurtic.
It's going to be one of the games where they need to show that tactical flexibility.
Bijol moving it forward.
Three at the back and push somebody into midfield just to counteract that.
It might be on for them.
Well, that's where
pressure exerted, but he keeps the ball. They've given it away.
That area to help along with.
They've got it now. What can they do?
I think without that, they'll be
real
outnumbered
danger.
3-2. Like you said, it's a coach that wants to play in a hybrid.
He's protecting it effectively.
Has to show that flexibility.
And intercepting it.
But I think in moments like this, when you go 1-0
dangerous
down,
looking attack.
you have to consolidate. You have to put yourself in a position where you get yourself back into the game and don't make mistakes.
Yasmin Kurtic.
An
attack full of promise.
Squad Palo Sosa, but optimism was
all the way through to the keeper then.
Because
a
he
routine
did have
save.
3 clear weeks with the squad in the lead up to the championships. Polish fans, as a result, were expecting a much better level of organisation while still retaining that dangerous edge. They're always going to have with Robert Lewandowski leading the line.
Dispossessed. Ran it superbly to take back possession.
Then attack.
Kowiak. And a poor ball.
I think it's clear for Slovakia. They're the master of
the attacking options appear plentiful.
Taking the sting out of the game.
Suggesting that he
a textbook interception.
Gave him on strictly.
Absolutely not. But I think they're handling these moments better than Poland. And you can see some of the frustration. Some of Poland's players.
Using his physical strength to shield it.
Jóźwiak trying to break down the right-hand side. Decent ball here. Was there a collision there? Comes through towards Ribus. Couldn't quite get his shot away cleanly. Duda trying to get away.
Attending to his defensive chores.
Counter-attack.
Ilicic. Real chance.
Handshake.
Oh, that is a majestic goal. Volleyed home with precision and
switch
style.
Out towards the far side.
Superbly done.
Queuing up in the centre. It's lovely skill. Brilliant twisting and turning. Harris-Lee.
Well, here it is again, and it starts with the ball over the top, perfectly weighted. But you do have to ask questions about the keeper. Could he have done better here? I think so. You can't keep getting beat at the near post like that.
Wonderful feat.
Well, he famously does tricks on social media, Lucas Harris-Lee. He showed a few there. He went through the repertoire.
I was looking in the box. Slovaks, they've got numbers forward. They're prepared to commit numbers.
They will now make use of their substitutes bench.
There was a VAR check about a potential penalty.
You can't really say defences are on top. 3-2.
Glick with the header away. Koviak further.
Jožviak. It's with Milik.
Duda.
Physically strong and secure on the ball. And can they prize them open now? Is it going to be?
Manages to pick it up for Slovakia.
Is it going to be? Tremendous defending to stonewall him. Good work to win the ball back high up the pitch.
Blocking the cross.
Not far away at all with the volley.
Well, to catch it like that, you've got to have really good technique. And so close.
Slovakia coming in,
It's a decent strike.
trying to beat
Up,
Poland.
just gets under it a little bit.
What is wrong with
But poor
Poland today?
clearance again from Poland, not coping with the set piece. What I like about Slovakia, they keep it
They're
every
just
ball
not
alive.
performing, they're not showing up
Especially
to the
when
match.
they've got Poland deep,
Mihad Zaitz
forcing the turnover.
using his strength to shield the ball.
Slovakia could be a good
Stankovic.
side, but if you look at it this way, they have the top, like the best striker should have got the Ballon d'Or if there was a Ballon d'Or.
Moving the ball forward with purpose.
Poland outnumbered. It's really difficult for them to get their centre midfielders on the ball.
Got the Ballon d'Or prize.
Giving it a try. Wonderful block. Well, he dealt with that ball played in rather well.
It's just not showing up to the match.
Klich.
No one.
Zielinski.
Except
Now
for
Arkadiusz Milik. Another perfect position to read it.
Sent back as Jožviak tries to centre it.
Stankovic.
Zielinski.
Into the advanced position.
Great
Spora.
close control from
Bijol.
Crossed in.
On the back cross looking for Lewandowski.
Plenty of options.
Nicely was the man who delivered that ball.
Well, they did have possession of the ball, but all that good work now counts for nothing. Bednarek. Krychowiak. This might be the perfect counter-attacking opportunity. Can they keep it going? Using his strength to hold on to the ball and wait for teammates to arrive. Cleared away.
Set the poles into a bit of a spin.
Because they're winning the midfield battle.
Stankovic.
Slovakia doing a great job sitting in, picking off any ball centrally and then
Bijol.
countering through. This man in particular has been so threatening.
Petar Stojanovic.
But you saw with one of the last plays from Poland,
And it's with
now
Ilicic.
coming wider to get on the ball. Needs to stay central.
Spora. Stankovic. He's using his strength to good effect.
Deep cross.
Well, the danger is still there.
Robert back.
And I think the threat has been averted. Strong play here. Mateusz Klich. This is Robert Lewandowski.
Hamsik. Sizing one up, and Mateusz Klich had to get his body in the way.
Kamil Glik. Bartosz Bereszyński. Under pressure.
Duda.
Doesn't seem to be bothering him.
for Slovakia.
Zielinski.
Mac. Crossed in. Terrible
Moving
cross.
the ball effectively. Well, that's a super ball over the top. Holding on to the ball, waiting for the cavalry to arrive. Excellent passing.
I think Duda's movement off the front.
Well, just listen to the atmosphere, Derek. It's been such a tight game, but can they see this out now? The fans are certainly doing their bit.
Bijol. And the counter-attack is on. Options available. Mihad Zaitz. Oh, that's an interesting pass.
Half an hour gone. And Poland 0, Slovakia 1. Just with a own goal in the 18th minute.
Dangerous looking attack. And an astute piece of defending.
Certainly looked to be going that way. Ball was deflected into his own net by Wojciech Szczesny.
Wait 1 second, chat.
Uzviak again, steered away by Skriniar. Rebus is penalised.
At the moment, I think there's a lot of predictability to Poland's play, and while I think down this right-hand side where they're creating most of their opportunities, the quality of the ball into the box is not going to be good enough for them to threaten. However, I do think they need to continue to play down this side, because so far Zielinski and Uzviak, for me, they're the two players that are crucial to Poland.
Klink wrestling in midfield, winning the ball for Zielinski, looking for Lewandowski, immediately surrounded by Pekarik, and Hamšík looking to escape. Bednarek went towards him and then had to back off. Pekarik again. He's got Duda waiting in the centre.
So I need to. Oh, what a save! I need to go for a walk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this, and then I'm going to see when it ends. And when it ends, I'm going to just say that the stream's still on, but it's going to be ended. It should be ending, because I can't choose when it ends. So yeah, just enjoy, and I'll see you hopefully for the Spain vs Sweden match. Bye.
Since Paulo Sousa took over, the previous manager got fired despite a relatively seamless, if functional, qualification period. There was a qualification period in which they kept 7 clean sheets. With the intervention, comes back to Krakowiak. He can hit them, and he did.
Well, it shows you what happens when you do win the ball centrally in the counter. I thought he was fortunate in the first instance, got under it, but at least he gets the crowd going. At least they're in positions where they can threaten. Because that's where I think Poland have really struggled. It's not in possession, it's in the turnover. It's once the ball is lost, then they've really struggled to get numbers around Slovakia, who have countered really well.
Duda scored their first ever goal at the European Championships 5 years ago. And it's Robert Mack who made the most of the situation down that left-hand side, created the first goal today, which has put them in a really good situation against a team which I think were heavy favourites for this match. Lewandowski shows nicely for Zielinski. Back towards Lewandowski, can't get it under control. Krakowiak. Berezinski. Uzviak. Zielinski, who's seen a lot of the ball. Saw a lot of the goal, but couldn't find it.
At least in the last 2 attacks, 2 shots on goal, albeit off target. Zielinski's been in and out of the first half. Need to cut inside.
Don't be surprised if we see changes at half-time from Paulo Sousa. He has developed a reputation of being a bit of a tinkerer. There's lots of different personnel, lots of different systems already. Thrown in a couple of young wild-card picks as well. Kasper Kozlowski, who is younger than England's Jude Bellingham, could end up coming off the bench later. Here's Hamšík, trying one from distance, which doesn't trouble Szczesny this time.
I think the biggest problem as they're playing against a team that doesn't have an out-and-out
well,
striker.
just the sort of weather the fans were hoping for this evening. It's absolutely ideal. My name is Derek Ray, and with me in the commentary position is the Arsenal legend Lee Dixon. And if the game is as enticing on the pitch as it looks on paper, we're not going to be disappointed. This ought to be a thriller, Lee.
Yeah, thank you, Derek. Always my favourite time of the week, spending time with you at games. We should be in for a belter here with these two.
Bozanic, final might be him in the future, but he hasn't really played enough for the national team. So they went with Duda today. Can play as a forward. Remembered by fans of Norwich City for a rather unsuccessful
spell. And this is how the hosts will begin the game today. Looks as though they're going with the belt and braces approach.
Yeah, 5-3-2 or 3-5-2. The midfield will be flooded when they've got the ball. Defensively, those fullbacks will be asked to supply support to their three centre-backs. But it does enable you to play two strikers up front.
But all the chances for Poland coming out this 20-yard range, all outside the box. Slovakia got numbers behind the ball. They can't get into the penalty area.
Here's the starting lineup for Bolton Wanderers. But as a team, Lee, they love to apply almost suffocating pressure. Based on the lineup, do you expect the same approach today?
Yeah, I think so, Derek. It makes it really difficult for the opponents to find their rhythm unless their touch is absolutely perfect. It forces mistakes, so I'd expect we'll be seeing plenty of that from them today.
Spain also present. This is Kukoviak. Allowed to travel a long way with the ball, wasn't able to do much with it. Trying to force it in. Again, another opportunity if they move the ball differently for Slovakia to counter-attack.
Well, this is Poland's best player for me, Jóźwiak.
Right, bad chat.
Because I think the two centre midfielders for Poland have really struggled defensively.
Zielinski. Subachan, Mack, watched by Jóźwiak. We may well have seen the best of Jóźwiak over the course of the opening 38 minutes. The fans of Derby County might not be as effusive with their praise, although Wayne Rooney, I hear, quite likes him.
He's shown good energy. He's shown a willingness to get on the ball. He's looking to take players on. I can only comment on what I'm seeing today.
Poland were the only team at the last European Championships not to trail for a single minute.
I mean, you have to consider where the chances have been created. There's been absolutely nothing from Poland on the left-hand side. Most chances have come when they've been able to thread or pick up second balls just outside of the box. I think crosses from the right have been indifferent. I don't think there's been too much quality. And the reason why Slovakia are winning, because they've displayed that one piece of quality. But personally, I've enjoyed Hamsik and Duda's performance so far. Wonderful to watch, the way they've dropped in, the way they've created the overload down the side. They've often been 3v2. You can tell they're enjoying themselves. They look confident. They want to be on the ball.
Paulo Sousa's enjoying himself. It's his responsibility to show what effect he can have with his tinkering, possibly at half-time. There are 5 subs available to the coaches at Euro 2020. To be made in 3 windows during the match. You can make another at half-time. Certainly feels he has the greater resources from the bench. Mack probably be disappointed to learn that that goal has not been credited to him. Got more influence with UEFA than I have.
I think he did so much good work leading up to the goal. He's hit it on target. Some would argue the power is too much for the goalkeeper.
Duda. Well, he had the opportunity to play it down the right-hand side where there was an open blue shirt. Not entirely sure what he was trying there.
But the better team's winning the game. Certainly feel there's been a swagger in their performance in the first half. They seem really comfortable, especially defensively. Poland really going to have to consider how they're going to break Slovakia down.
The ball away cheaply again. Kuska lost out in the duel with Lenete. Robert Lewandowski. Haven't seen much of him in the first 42 minutes of this game. Krakowiak. Maji Ribus. Precise enough with his delivery into the box. Ribus trying to win it again. Lewandowski's got it now. Doesn't usually need too many chances.
This is his trademark. This is his best strength for me. His ability to take the ball out of the air and get a shot off quickly. Gets out of his feet. That's what he does so well, and part of the reason why he's got 41 goals this year. It's a half chance.
41 just in the Bundesliga, 48 in 40 appearances in all competitions. That's some ratio, isn't it?
That's brilliant. Top finisher. I know we talk about him being the best striker in the world. Certainly a wonderful finisher.
You'd expect him to be able to find his corner as well. His dad was a judo champion, his wife is a black belt in karate.
Explains some of the flexibility you see in his ability to bring the ball down.
Tarkovic certainly has exposed Polish backline in the first half. Flexed to move them around. The system which maybe Paulo Sousa wasn't expecting. It's been pretty clear though in the build-up to this tournament that Slovakia can cause teams problems on the counter-attack. They beat Russia 2-1 in a qualifier recently. Here's Krakowiak. Lewandowski putting pressure on. Klich went to hit it, then hesitated, and Slovakia nip in and look to break. It's a good ball by Duda. Taken well by Hamšík. Kucka calling for it. Hamšík went to hit it instead. Still trying to find a way through, but Bednarek was there to help Poland out of a tight spot. There's been a few of those. Klich. Jóźwiak. Put it back towards Zielinski. It's good defending. Jóźwiak again, Zielinski. Berezensky trying to get wide on the right, high up inside opposition territory. For the first time we've seen him really in that area.
I think that sums up the first half performance from Poland, and I can hear all the Derby County fans saying exactly why he needs to be better in his end product. But Hamšík, what a half he's had. I've really enjoyed watching Slovakia. They've executed everything they've set out to do. They've been really efficient in the counter. I think if their decision making can be a little better in and around the box, they can extend the lead, and they might live to regret that in the second half.
Only 1 minute of added time to be pushed on at the end of a first 45 minutes in which Slovakia have been pretty impressive. Martin Dubravka hasn't had too much to do, the Newcastle United goalkeeper. Berezensky. Krakowiak finding Jóźwiak once again. Klich. Again, Matthias Kling trying to squeeze the ball into the centre, but Uwe Chan stands in his way. Just hasn't clicked for Poland so far.
So maybe it hasn't, but let's talk about the individual excellent defending from Slovakia. Every single player is committed to their battle, and they've almost dominated in every individual battle in this game.
And they are enjoying it as a result. Certainly done enough in this first 45 minutes to get most of those supporters off their feet. What is it about Wojciech Szczesny and opening games of major tournaments? He is the first goalkeeper to score an own goal at the Euros. Robert Lewandowski has hardly had a kick. Analysis on the way with the guys in the studio very shortly, but at half-time it is Poland 0, Slovakia 1.
UEFA Euro 2020 is sponsored by Volkswagen.
I know exactly where we're going, chaps. Greece is this way. It's that way. I'll take you from here. Gino! Mamma mia!
Here we go again. Gordon, Gino and Fred go Greek. This autumn on ITV and ITV Hub.
There you go.
Here's what you spent last month. This'll help with the itching.
Can I have a taste of your ice cream? Can I lick the crumbs from your table? Can you hear those people behind me? No, mind your own business. Why don't you mind your own business?
From the home of life's simple pleasures. Birra Moretti, l'italiana autentica.
HelloFresh meal kits. All the ingredients you need to cook delicious dinners delivered to your door. Order now at hellofresh.co.uk. Dinner solved.
Every follicle's a blessing. Just a bit off the top, please, mate. Not that bit. And that's why I take care of mine. Yeah, and probably not that bit. I'm a head half full man, you could say. No, not there. No. Majestic. If you've got hair, care.
The world of credit cards can be intimidating. But what if there was someone who could make it less so? Someone who protects what's yours. Someone who helps you avoid nasty surprises. Someone who, when they offer you something, gives you exactly that thing. Someone who isn't just doing credit. Someone who is doing credit the way it should be done. Capital One. That's credit done right.
The Mercedes-Benz online showroom. Search all available cars in one place, see all the latest retailer offers, and get an instant guaranteed part exchange valuation. sensationally simple. Search Mercedes-Benz online showroom and buy online today.
UEFA Euro 2020 is sponsored by Just Eat.
Poland 0, Slovakia 1 at half-time. Robert Mack is going to claim the goal, and we want to give it to him, but UEFA say it's an own goal as Szczesny, it comes off his arm finally, having hit the post and goes in off the Polish goalkeeper. But Slovakia lead, and they deserve to lead. And we talked a lot about Lewandowski and the FIFA Player of the Year, but if you've got a centre-forward that good and you can't give him quality ball, he's going to start drifting, isn't he?
Yeah, he's had a frustrating half. He started drifting out wide, which says it's not happening centrally. Zielinski had some good touches in the first 10 minutes, but nothing is happening centrally because Slovakia have really blocked it out. Slovakia have really been clever as well. Lots of fouls, prevented the counter-attack. They've limited Poland to shots from outside the box, and then a bit of brilliance from Mack as well to get the goal. So I think Slovakia have deserved their lead.
Well, I think we want to give it to Mack, and I hope his teammates do, and he's certainly going to claim it. It's a great piece of skill, isn't it? Yeah. To create the goal, whatever officially they say the goal scorer is.
I think even Shelby would give it to Mack. Yeah. If he was him, he don't want it own goal to put on his name as well. But great piece of skill. I mean, he created a chance himself. He's surrounded by two defenders, little nutmeg between, and then of course here in the near post. And I think Shelby had to do better, to be honest, there in that situation. I think that's the rule as well. As a goalkeeper, you can't get beaten in the near post. And here, I mean, you could
lovely nutmeg,
fantastic nutmeg, fantastic piece of skill, and then beat Shelby at the near post. But if you look closely, it was even Glick that had a little.
Here's the angle here, Nigel. Off Glick,
yeah,
hits the post, hits Szczesny on his arm, and then it goes.
Deflection.
But do you know something? They deserve it. They've played well. Robert Mack posed them one or two problems. The main problem for Poland were Glick and Bednarak, two centre-back. They've got no day to mark. The movement has been superb from Hamsik, Duda, Mack on the left-hand side. They've been excellent. They've been dropping short. Nobody's been coming to pick them up, and they've posed them all sorts of problems. They've been really organised at the back. I think that I've been actually very, very impressed with Slovakia.
If Szczesny is still around in 2024, I suggest the Poles don't play him in the first game of the Euros. 2012 in Warsaw, where they were co-hosts, he got sent off.
I know.
Didn't play again. 2016, he played the game and injured his thigh, didn't play again. 2021, he scores an own goal. It's quite bizarre.
That's why I try to say, I think even Shelby after the game will make a complaint. You know what, give that goal to Robert Mack. I don't even want it on my goal because I have a bad spell in tournaments.
Mack tried it again. He tried it again on the same player, Berezinski, number 18, we can see on the near side. He tried to nutmeg him again.
Listen, I love it. It's confidence. If it worked one time, but the defender's saying, fool me once, it's not happening again. Again, a 2v1, that shows that they're scared of him. But, yeah, Poland, they need more. They need more.
If I'll be honest, in that situation, if that would happen again, if I was a coach, I would say, come here, son. That's it. We'll get you off. That's it. You're not made for this game today.
No. Not happening for you.
He's been on his mantelpiece tonight if that happened again. He's just taking him home. But in all seriousness, he was posing them problems down the left-hand side, and they've looked really, really good. I've been very impressed.
And we've seen Hamsik, we've decided it's a bun, not a mohawk, because his hair's obviously going a bit. But he has created a couple of chances, hasn't he? And as we've seen from this, Ali, it has been Slovakia who've been threatening.
Absolutely. I mean, as I said, the movement from here's Duda appearing on the left-hand side, and Hamsik, they've just got a great blend with their movement. They fill in spaces. They're not rigid with their positions. They can move about, and they break. You see them break there. They don't have a focal point up front. They don't have an out-and-out centre forward, so they've got 3 or 4 men attacking at the same time. And to be fair to the Polish defence, Glick and Bednarak, they don't really know what to do. That's a great cross from the right-hand side, good header on target, comfortable save. But tactically, I've got to say they've got it spot on.
Poles in their 4th Euros haven't got out of the group 2 of the last 3 times, so they are really struggling when it comes to the Euro. Stay with us for the second half from St. Petersburg. Before that, a chance to win big in our Euro 2020 competition. Here's your chance to win a huge £40,000 and tickets to the UEFA Euro 2020 final. Yes, courtesy of Just Eat, you and 3 pals could be coming to London to watch the final live at Wembley Stadium on the 11th of July. Don't forget about that £40,000 in tax-free cash that's also thrown in. For your chance to win, just go to the website. Entries cost £2. Text footy to 80900. Text costs £2 plus your standard network rate message. Or post your name and number to Euro 21, PO Box 7558, Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. SMS and online entry closes 10 AM Wednesday the 30th of June, and entrance must be contactable on Monday the 5th of July and for 2 working days after. Good luck.
UEFA Euro 2020 is sponsored by Volkswagen.
So how do y'all want to play this?
Crank it all the way up.
Man, we messing with magnets now? Yeah! Whoa, that's what I'm talking about.
We supposed to stop that? Hold on!
Yes!
Fast and Furious 9. In cinemas June 24th.
At LV, we understand that you want insurance that looks after all your family's cars. The commuter. The team bus. The electric one. You could save 20% with our multi-car policy. It's the cheapest way to get annual cover for your household when you switch to us. No wonder we're the UK's #1 insurer for customer service. LV. It's our heart that sets us apart. Go direct to lv.com.
You start your day with breakfast in bed, or are you up and acting with a Danish instead? One focaccia coming at you, or just white sliced bread? There's an avocado just for you. Just for you. Just for you. Want a whole frozen section behind your skidoo?
With more choice than any other supermarket.
There's an avocado just for you.
When did you last satisfy your appetite for adventure? Salted Texan pecans, swirled with cream, covered in blonde caramel white chocolate. Choose your next adventure with Nui. Humans, we communicate through our bodies. Our skin, the simple touch of a hand, can create incredible cerebral activity. 10 minutes of skin-to-skin interaction can help lower a child's blood pressure and improve their immunity. Or a hug that can send millions of electric impulses, releasing endorphins, replacing loneliness with a feeling of belonging, or fear with a sense of security. A lifelong bond is reinforced. Your skin is powerful. Keep it healthy. Sonex keeps skin healthy.
It was designed to improve brushing. It ended up changing everything.
I think you're gonna wanna see this. I know you're not gonna believe this. Watch me now. Make it say make it say wow. Watch me now.
UEFA Euro 2020 is sponsored by Just Eat.
Very
disappointing day for Scotland at Hampden, beaten 2-0 by the Czechs in their opening game, and we'll have highlights 10:45 this evening. Patrick Schick with a wonder goal for the Czechs. Also highlights of Spain-Sweden, which kicks off at 8 o'clock as well. How do Poland get Lewandowski and themselves back into this?
Well, do you know something, Mark, that we're just speaking about it there, that there seems to be a lack of urgency about Poland, you know. Zielinski we spoke about before, you know, Juziak on the right-hand side, good players, but they just seem a lack of urgency. They need to get the ball to them quicker, and they have to go and create something. Kryvokiak as well has got to get forward. They've been disappointing.
Well, Sousa's known for his sort of tactical flexibility. I think he needs to create more wide opportunities. Stretch Slovakia out a bit. Lewandowski, you can't sleep on Lewandowski. He needs 1 inch and he will score. So create more wide opportunities, I think.
I think the problem that Poland has is that everybody's come looking for the ball, especially the wide players. And if you play in a system like that against a Slovakia that most of the times play with 10 or 11 men back, you have to keep it wide. Try to stretch them out, get the ball to the wide players, and make sure that Lewandowski don't come back into the ball. But what you get, as soon as you don't give him the service, he's going to search for the ball.
Yeah.
He goes to wide play, you go out wide, he's going to come into the little pockets to receive the ball, and you don't want him there. You want him there inside of that box. So they got to pick up the pace.
Let's see what happens then as we return to St. Petersburg for the second half with Slovakia a goal up on Poland, and we'll rejoin our commentary team of Emma Hayes and Sam Matterface.
There is a little bit of history between Slovakia and Poland. Slovaks came from 1-0 down to beat Poland in a crucial qualifying game for the 2010 World Cup, which would end up being their first major tournament since becoming an independent nation. An unforgettable moment for those involved that still gives many Slovakian fans goosebumps. And they got their fans on their feet a few times in that first 45 minutes. Wojciech Szczesny's own goal still separates these two teams as we start the second half with no changes at half-time in personnel. What will the changes be tactically from Portugal? From Poland, sorry, from the Portuguese manager.
Well, that would be interesting. I think it's fair to say the manager's had 5 games to work with his team, so the answer is not sure yet.
Rebus. Lovely little ball by Klink. This is Rebus again, and there is the opportunity. Just 30 seconds into the second half. Linete scores the equaliser for Poland, and it's the perfect start to the second 45 for Paulo Sousa's team. And the worst possible start to the second half for Slovakia.
That's like Ali said at half-time, they need to play with more urgency, and within 30 seconds, one-touch play in and around the penalty box makes all the difference. It's the right cutback, and it's a wonderful run from Lewandowski. It allows the opening for the ball to be cut back into Rebus's feet. And it's an easy finish from there. It's all about the quality of the pass. Brilliant finish.
Linete has never played for Poland at a major tournament before. He went to Euro 2016 and the World Cup without kicking a ball. But that could be a significant kick of a football for Paulo Sousa and for Poland. It's 1-1 in St. Petersburg.
What a great time to score. They had a first half really sluggish performance from Poland. To get the early goal, you can hear the crowd, it's given them a lift. It'll be interesting to see if anything has changed tactically, or is it more about just the speed of play?
Poland fans, you can see them high up in the first tier. In the Krotowski Stadium in St. Petersburg. Waving their flags and back on their feet after what was a glum first 45 minutes. For Slovakia is that Poland have never scored more than 1 goal in any of their 11 European Championship games before today. So they would be bucking a trend by scoring a second here. They have set this second half up nicely.
You can see already Poland in the midfield areas, they've pushed a little higher, pushed the Slovakian midfield a little bit lower as well.
Jóźwiak.
I think the key to that is once you go a little bit higher up the pitch as a midfielder and you start to play off the back shoulder of players and you push them back, it just opens space then in front.
Zielinski. Another shot from the edge of the area which goes narrowly wide.
And like the guys said at half-time, he's a player that's got to come into the game. He certainly started the game well and then just completely drifted out of it.
Exceptional talent, can change the pace of the game, and he's got great spatial awareness. He takes the free kick at one stage. He's committed his future to Napoli. 10 goals and 12 assists this season.
Slight role reversal from the first half. Now you've got Slovakia kicking long, not looking to build up. Poland looking to win free kicks in good areas.
The Romanian referee just instructing Krakowiak to go back from where the offence took place.
There's a much better shape to Poland. You can see already in that midfield line, Klich in particular, the spare player on the far side, and I think if they do work it across the pitch, there will be openings.
Might be another one here. Ribus trying to find Zielinski. Cleared away by Skriniar. Animated on the touchline, Paulo Sousa will be in a much better mood now.
This is the thing, you know, you get to half-time, people wonder what it is you need to do to change, and often it's just positioning of units. And in this case, just putting them 5-10 yards higher up the pitch. Now that midfield line for Slovakia can't put pressure on this pass. And that's what the difference is so far. And now Poland are able to get on the first, the second passes, and importantly look to switch the pitch.
Yeah, into midfield. Bednarek. Blink. This is Krakowiak. Klich again, round the corner to Jóźwiak. Klich goes on one. Decent ball in, Lenete again.
And that's good play out wide, but again a cutback. Lewandowski again occupying the central areas. It's allowing midfield runners to come into that area. But I think importantly, the fact that the number 10 for Poland is in a position to get on the ball earlier in the play. He's then able to pick his passes out. It's something they couldn't do in the first half.
It's a dangerous find to Bravka. Linete. Klich. Lewandowski just couldn't quite get hold of that. Duda away. Mack leading another Slovakian counter charge. And a bit of a shoulder box that from Jóźwiak, who gets away with it and now leads Poland's charge forward. Chan with a challenge, it's a...
This is much better from Poland though, it has to be said. I think first of all, the way they're positioning themselves to stop the counter. Duda struggled, I think, to put the ball out to Mack, and then now Poland are being a much more aggressive to win the ball back, and this is where they're dangerous. This out-swinging ball is quite threatening.
Poland corner. Duda away. Zielinski, Klich just over the top, glancing it.
But all the momentum's with Poland in the second phase. Klich getting up early. Just underneath the ball.
He's brilliant in the air, Kamil Klich. 33 now, initially left out by the new manager, who was desiring quick young defenders, but he fought his way back into the team again. Didn't take him too long. It was about 52 minutes. They were 2-0 down at that point in Paulo Sousa's first game. Odd effort from Haraslin.
That's a good switch of play from Duda, and Haraslin looking to come infield. It's off balance when he hits the ball.
Glick was called off the bench in that Hungary game when they were 2-0 down. Help us out here, will you? And, he certainly did. Stiffened up the defence for the rest of the game. 3-3 it finished. He's had a tactical tweak at the start of the second half, Paulo Sousa, which has yielded an equaliser for Linate.
It's put them back in the game. Certainly small difference, but enough for them to get in behind that midfield line. I think the danger will be now is where they've pushed midfielders on higher is in the turnover. They have less players to deal with the counter, and that's where the role of the back three for me has to do more. They have to be prepared to go in on Duda, in particular when he drops low, and the same for Hamsik, because the out ball every time is to those two players, and then they look to play into the wide areas.
Bradker under pressure from Lewandowski. Played out well, Slovakia. Kucka. Hamsik with a high ball, defended by Bednarek. Krakowiak. Kucka going at one another in that central midfield area.
But already, again, Poland competing for the second balls, and something I felt they struggled with in the first half.
Zielinski struggled to keep his footing. It's great to hear that rumble of noise around the Grotowski Stadium. Completely different dynamic with supporters inside the stadium. Krakowiak. Rivas. Due to aim at it in the centre. Lewandowski trying to help it on to Linate.
For Poland will be the positioning of Krakowiak. This player in possession of the ball, he's finding different angles to get on it. I think he's allowing Poland the opportunity to play both sides of the pitch. You can see, key player for them.
Bednarek stepping into Slovakian half. Ribus. Linate trying to turn Petric away.
Difference, they're doing it so much higher up the pitch in the second half. They've got numbers inside the box.
Bednarek was actually part of Southampton team that had a really strange season. Jan Bednarek. Top at one stage, but the second worst defensive record in the Premier League. That's a foul. Real tangle involving Maciej Ribus. Haraslin.
Again, look how much closer they are to the second ball. And so often in the first half, Slovakia would break away on the second ball and start their counter-attacks. This time, Poland as a team are much higher.
What is the reason for that? Why are they close to the second ball? Is it just geography, or is it intent too?
Well, I think it's positioning. I think, first of all, the fact that they've gone to almost, a 1 and a 2 in midfield that are playing a lot higher. That's allowing, I think, space in between Slovakia's midfield and their forward line. And you can see Hamsik and Duda now, they're not influencing in the same way. And players are around the second ball because they're in high positions.
Zielinski standing over this free kick. Lewandowski is in attendance too. Lewandowski hasn't really had a sight of goal yet. Certainly hasn't had a shot on target. Is that about to change? Well, it might be heading that way, but it was the wall doing its job which prevented it from being a problem for Dubravka.
Skriniar is in there doing his job, tallest player, second in the wall, there for that reason.
Second corner. Zielinski into the near post. Skriniar again.
How crucial is Skriniar for Slovakia in these positions?
Zielinski. He's allowed to bounce, but Kowiak going over there to Marshall. Thinks he is a high-class player, isn't he, Kowiak?
We certainly can see that second half. I think he's causing problems because for Hamsek and Duda, if they end up pushing higher defensively to deal with the back three in possession, then they're going to leave themselves distanced from their midfield unit behind them, so they're having to sit lower and lower, and as a result of that, Poland are able to get on the ball in front of them.
Doesn't mind doing the dirty work either, but he has got highbrow taste. Since moving to Moscow, he's developed a penchant for the Bolshoi. So went to the palace to have a look at the art galleries and museums. When he was in Paris, he was a regular at the opera, owned his own boutique.
An artsy guy, an intellect.
Always good to have different interests.
Nothing wrong with that.
Zuzwiak. Kowiak sending it long, more rudimentary up to Lewandowski.
That's the key for Poland in particular. I think Linetti and Zielinski, they've got to get closer to him.
Linetti a little bit too close on that occasion. Kuczka gets back to his feet. Stopping Duda from taking the throw-in.
He's closer to Duda, that's the difference in the second half. Duda had far too much freedom to drop off that back line into the spaces.
Kowiak is going to get a yellow card here. And it is the second yellow card for Grzegorz Krychowiak. And that means that he's going to be sent off.
Wow, football games can just change in a moment. I was thinking about this player and why he struggled in the first half. I think in possession of the ball, he's a wonderful player. Defensively, you can see he just goes over the top of his foot.
Well, just like a night at the opera, you never know what's going to come next.
Well, that's changed the balance of play. And just as Poland, I thought, will consolidate in the momentum in the game, it just turns in a moment. The question is, who's going to go and play in centre midfield? Because in this formation, you need two pivots. Even though he plays as a single pivot, you see defensively, doesn't quite have the pace. And as a result of that, he's late. And it's a yellow card.
Was appealing to Obadiah Hatzigan.
just interesting to see if Sousa will make a change from the bench, and if not, who will he put in there?
Doesn't have too many options in that area. Jakob Modder would be the likely contender. Glick with the header away. Jakob Modder, who's played at Brighton, actually was in the first team for the World Cup qualifiers. Played and scored at Wembley.
Looks like they're playing almost in a 4-4-1 out of possession. That means Lewandowski's going to be even lower. He's going to have to do the work on the pivot, and that's a lot of work.
Benate and Glick have gone in to that central midfield area. This is Duda. Can Slovakia take advantage? It just went out of play.
I think it will be a question of whether he will forego somebody like Jalinski out of the game to put someone in defensively, might offer a little more coverage. Forgive the coaching hat.
Well, we said he likes a tinker.
I think it's more about, does he want to consolidate the point, because 11 v 10, you often see it in football matches, you think there's an advantage to the team with 11, and it doesn't always work out like that. But you have to defend the right spaces, and I do think he is a coach that will be prepared to sit deep. But then it's about, okay, if Lewandowski, he's not going to be the type of 9 that's going to pick up the ball and carry it over big distances. So he's going to have to think about how they play in transition and whether he brings a player that's very good for the counter onto the pitch.
There's no urgency. This is a tournament where you have to be really bad to get eliminated. 24 teams, only 8 go out at the end of the group stages. Then third place can get you through. Sometimes you can get through with just 3 points. You and I had a conversation prior to this match about growing into the tournament, taking your time.
But there's also acceptance. You're going to have to accept you're going to be without the ball. You've got to be able to shuffle across like that quickly enough to shut the spaces down in between your lines. But that's tiresome. That wears you down. So the use of subs then to recognise which players might struggle with that then comes into play as a coach.
Makes the upcoming game against Sweden for Poland a must win if they don't get all 3 points here. Their other game is against Spain, who start their campaign this evening. That game will be in Seville. That all has an impact too, because this match was switched to St. Petersburg with just 7 weeks' notice, Emma. Portugal decided to stay in Poland and commute for their fixtures. Slovakia elected to actually base themselves in St. Petersburg. There's a lot of travelling that is involved now. Dublin to Seville, not so severe as St. Petersburg to Seville, and a very different climate too.
It's all about time zones, and if you're crossing too many time zones, then the recovery required changes. The other interesting thing about this game, Slovakia has played a counter-attacking game. Now they're the dominant team in possession, and they're going to have to consider how they change what they do.
Charging forward here, Kutska. Araslin, deflection takes it into the side netting.
And that in particular is one way how you beat a block. You have to drive through those areas, much like Kukia did. Araslin as he's shown throughout this game, when he gets into that position, he wants to go 1v1 and get shots off, and Szczesny already conceded an own goal. Why not?
He's a terrifically gifted footballer, isn't he, Lucas Harrisley? Max delivery, little flick, drops inside the box. Skriniar with a screamer. Slovakia pretty determined not to show anything but desire, heart, and that they ain't here just to make up the numbers, you know. He won the Scudetto with Inter in Italy. And he's put his team in pole position.
Oh, he's put his team in the position they want to be. This outswinging ball is excellent. And this is why he's one of the best in this position. It drops perfectly. And as it falls to his feet, he just strikes it into the bottom corner. This is a team that scored 4 times from the last 10 goals in set pieces. And coincidentally, Poland, on the other hand, have conceded 3 from 5. And at this level, this is what matters. Set-piece goals in international football at these tournaments is crucial.
Milian Skriniar, only his 3rd international goal. He spoke yesterday about his teammate Christian Eriksen, who he plays with at Inter.
Well, let's credit Kuchka, though, in the lead up to the corner. I mean, he drove through the heart of the midfield to get the corner.
Sure, Skriniar, like everybody else, was unsettled by the sights at the Denmark game on Saturday. He's given his team a real lift. He's put them in a great situation going into the final 20 minutes.
Now it's back to Poland and what their response will be with 10 players and consideration of what's on the bench.
You talked about acceptance as a coach, knowing that you weren't going to have the ball and having to defend, but once you've conceded that goal, and I think it was inevitable because they don't keep clean sheets, Poland, anymore.
But this is what people need to understand about when you're in low blocks. You still have to get pressure on the ball, because if you just sit and slide, top teams, top players will find a way to create chances, and in that exact situation the 2 centre midfielders were passive in the game. As a result, it's a burst through the middle, corner, goal, simple as that.
Down to 10 men and chasing the game. Zielinski, ambitious.
It is, I think, again, another shot from distance, something we saw a lot from the first half, but not seen enough quality from Zielinski. I don't think he's been good enough in these areas, and 2 in and out of the game. And I think now he's going to be forced to defend a lot more. Sosa's going to consider a change.
Poland's recent major tournament form has been left wanting. They've won just 1 of 8 major tournament opening games since 1980. And that was at the last European Championships when they beat Northern Ireland by a 1-0. This is not the start that Paulo Sousa would have wanted against the team that's perceived to be the weakest in the group. Hasn't really felt like that.
It's a team that's executed its game plan, and even at 1-1, look, the sending off makes the difference. Let's be brutally honest about that, but you still have to take your moments when they come in the game, and I think Slovakia, they've worked hard as a unit, and they've been highly effective, especially from set pieces, where I always felt today they were going to take advantage of Poland.
Players from the MLS are involved in the European Championships, but Przemysław Frankowski Certainly is. Did score a vital goal in qualifying against North Macedonia, but he plies his trade for Chicago Fire. He is about to be entered into the game by Paulo Sousa. He's not the only one. Tim Pucac of Lech Poznan is also coming on. It's the end of the night for the goal scorer, Lenate. Rebus for Pucac is the second change. Goes out over to that left-hand side. He's straight replacement for Magi Rebus.
Just different energy, bring players with different skill sets into the game. I think it's important now for Poland to acknowledge that, especially the deepest players, they're going to have to push up in the game.
Dromada. Duda. Pekaric again. Slovakia into the lead. Lost to Wales in their opening game of 2016. Slovakia but had a good tournament by their standards. They beat Russia in Lille, frustrated the hell out of England in St Etienne. Duda. Mack. Wrestling made a dart in from the right-hand side, and that was where Mack was aiming his ball. Berezinski trying to get it away.
Even know that Lewandowski was playing.
I was just about to say, we started this commentary by saying if you've rushed home to see the best striker in the world.
I said it earlier, he plays with Muller, and in tandem, their movement, one coming short, one going long, I think really helps his game. I don't think he's had anybody to play off today, let alone have any quality service. And Skriniar hasn't had to do a lot, but he's been effective at what he's done.
Still might be a Lewandowski moment. It's a good 14 and a bit minutes to go. But they're going to have to do it without 10 men. With 10 men. Krychowiak being sent off.
But even that, it's a set-piece opportunity. They've got 10 players. They rush the decision. A woeful ball.
That isn't. But Glick tidies up. Just ahead of Harris Lee.
This is what they're going to need, players like Glick to come up the pitch with the ball. They're going to have to create an extra number in midfield. Have to take risks.
Berezinski. Jóźwiak. Travelling a long way. Shifting it on. Frankowski looking for Lewandowski. Krychowiak is going to miss the game in Seville as a result of his sending off this evening. He spent a few years in Seville with Sevilla. He won the Europa League there twice.
Really been a physical game. I think Slovakia, for the most part, have dominated that today. I think in the last quarter of the game, it's important both touchlines that Poland commit width and depth from Glitch in particular.
Who's been all action and energy in the centre of that Slovakian midfield. About to take a leave of absence. Patrick Modosovski is replacing him. Modosovski, who had a good couple of seasons with Genk after falling out of favour at Victoria Pilsen. Almost stopped playing at one stage because he was in dispute with his club, but he's back amongst the action now. He's more of a defensive midfield player. He'll slot in alongside Kucka, and Pekarik has been replaced by Martin Koscielnik.
I think Ramada can be really happy with his work. Put a real shift in, and importantly, I think they've centrally really dominated. They've done well in the counter-attack.
Good challenge by Duda. Got a little bit extra from Klik to see the ball go back towards his own defence, but the worries are about Jóźwiak.
Well, he's the player who's looked to go 1v1 in the right moments, but Duda, what a game he's had. He's been everywhere for his team. Certainly won a lot of the first balls when they've been played up to him. Been a threat constantly. I think he's linked from back to front exceptionally. And again, he's willing to do that work. I think Poland need to maximise these situations. There's not a lot of organisation from them with these free kicks. Really, they're pretty good.
Poland has the red card. What?
Polish attack for this set piece
get
orchestrated
caught
by
up in this.
Zielinski.
Poland red card.
Lewandowski.
Slovakia 2-1 up.
Star-shaped dive
What
from
the hell's
Bednarek.
going on here, chat?
Jóźwiak. Away again by Kucka. Duda drawing a foul and taking his team further up the pitch.
I know we can't give players of the match yet, but he's certainly a candidate.
I'm certain that he will be remembered by fans of Norwich City and Bournemouth, who will remember him as the player who had the goal-bound shot saved spectacularly and illegally by the Bournemouth captain Steve Cook.
Your memory is exceptional.
Threw his arms up in the air and was sent off as a result of that. It was a shame in a way, because actually Duda didn't score a single goal whilst he was at Carrow Road.
But he's not really a centre forward. I mean, positionally, he just plays in those little pockets. I think he's exploited Poland in every situation today just by coming from front to back. He's just dropped off into that little space, got on the ball early, switched the play. Looked like he's really enjoyed himself.
Right, so I get a bit catched up.
Facet of this encounter. Strategy from Stefan Tarkovic.
Euro 2021.
Set out for Slovakia, which they have carried out to the letter. Adapted to circumstance. Took advantage of the fact that Poland went down to 10 men when Krakowiak got a second yellow card. Tarkowski, guilty.
Didn't he read it well, the way he comes across? So elegant. We already know about his 1v1 abilities. I don't think he's the quickest when you actually get down the side of him in the box. But in those scenarios, he reads it so well as a centre-half.
Probably the best Slovakian export to Italy since Marek Hamšík, his captain.
I think it's important for Slovakia in the last
So Poland.
Drop too deep out of possession. They got their extra body. They need to put Poland under pressure because the last part of the game I could see balls going from back to front from Poland in the air. They have to offer something different. I can see a second stop coming on. Looks like Moder, certainly aerially threat.
Polish corner.
6 minutes to go.
Narek is in there too. Lewandowski looking to try and get a run on the ball. Good header away. Comes back to the edge of the area where it's smacked goalwards by Pukac.
For the first time, we've seen Slovakian defenders winning the first ball. So he just slices it, gets under it, no control.
Clip off. Moder on. Swiderski also allowed to come on to add a more attacking thrust, a bit more energy. Placing Zielinski.
Question is going to change anything, reshape.
Swiderski is a regular scorer in Greece. He's a runner-up in the title race there with Thessalonica.
I'm actually happy Slovakia are winning.
He's got 2 goals in his 4 caps. He only took 25 minutes to score on his debut in March against Andorra.
Because yes, it does show that there is a good, bad team. So there's a bad team that barely ever wins anything. Well, it doesn't barely anyway, never win anything. Like it's never won anything. Beating a good team doesn't win anything, but it still gets like still does well. So so that means that if Slovakia and Spain win all of their games, well, they can't win all of them, but if they draw against each other, then that means Poland might be knocked out.
The other change sees Robert Mack come off, and Thomas Suslov has attracted a little bit of attention from Europe's biggest clubs. He plays week in, week out in the Eredivisie. He's an attacking midfielder. He's only just turned 19.
It's a smart decision from Tarkovic to take the left and right sided players off. Just gives them fresh legs down the sides. Prevent crosses, make it difficult for Poland in the closing moments. And I think when players like that come into the game, they have to
3 more minutes before Poland lose.
It's a looping one which took a deflection, and there was a bit of panic from Martin Dubravka.
It's understandable, good play for Glitch. Deflection. Takes it out for a corner.
Corner for Poland in the closing minutes.
In the mouth stuff from the Slovakian goalkeeper.
Crossed in.
With a corner.
Hello, my.
Too far. No one got a touch on it. Lewandowski can't quite believe it. Travelled such a long way.
What a ball. Look at Lewandowski. He's got to come through that crowd. I think he jumps a tad too early. It's difficult to see the ball with all those bodies. See, just misses off the top of his head. That's the first big chance he's had today.
Can't quite believe it, Paulo Sousa, and that's so regular. Scoring goals. Didn't quite time his jump to perfection on this occasion.
Bad thing is, for Poland, they have lost one of their starting players against Spain because of red card.
Of additional time coming Poland's way as they look to try and find an equaliser. Catches ball. Eventually cleared by Duda. Under pressure, it's gone down off the ball. Chesney dealt with the back pass. Paulo Sousa is encouraging his team on. Duda is in real problems on this near side. And Kuska somehow has escaped a booking despite yet another foul.
This is just what you want your subs to do in the game. He's come into the game, he's looking to drive in those areas. Duda. It's not enough.
30 seconds until we find out what the other time is. Free kick to Poland now. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun. 5, 4, takes free kick 3, 2, saved by the Vaca 1. How many minutes at a time? 4 minutes added time. Poland brings it in. Oh my God, so close. Going in at added time. Poland 1, Slovakia 2.
That was a great chance.
It's exactly what you want at this stage of the game. He does everything right in terms of getting in front of his player, but he stuffs it in. You can see that every cutback Poland have put into the box has been dangerous. Slovakia have been so sensible defending Lewandowski. He's opened up that space.
Very good. Replaces Andre Duda, who's been terrific.
Three minutes left.
He's been marvellous. Really has, man of match for me.
That's the final change for Stefan Darkovic.
England's last 3 games, going back to England, have all been 1-0 wins. First, Austria, we beat them 1-0. Next, Romania, we beat them 1-0. And next, Croatia, we beat them 1-0. Are we going to beat Scotland by 1 goal? Are we going to beat Czech Republic by 1 goal? And then, in the round of 16, are we going to beat that team by 1-0? In the quarterfinals, are we going to beat that team by 1-0? In the semi-finals, are we going to beat that team for 1-0? And in the final, are we going to beat that team by 1-0? That'll be sick. I know not a lot of goals, but same result every time. I know it's not a lot of goals, but the goals don't really matter. That's for just like goals, top goal scorer in that. If they want it, they have to score the goals. It's not a team getting the golden boot, it's a player. The team doesn't get to keep the trophy, the player keeps the trophy. So if Raheem Sterling or Harry Kane wants the top goal scorer, And they're going to have to wait. Work themselves. Here is Poland. Poland! Oh my God, the Raka with a save. 1 minute to go.
Swiderski on the turn.
Lewandowski does so well to lay the ball off to Swiderski. Just can't get enough on it to wrap it into the top corner. Slovakia, they're just causing their own problems. You know what they did so well earlier on in the game in terms of getting around the second ball and losing it almost.
30 more seconds to go.
Pressure continues.
One last attack for Poland. Here it is.
It's not the greatest of crosses.
Goal kick. It's all over.
That might be that might be it.
It's all over. The bracket's going to take his time. And even if he does boot it, we've only got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blow the whistle, ref. It's all over for Poland.
Tells the story of disappointment. They lost their first game at the World Cup 3 years ago, and it set the tone for a very difficult tournament. They were determined not to experience that bad feeling again. And I'm afraid the recriminations are coming. Krychowiak sent off, down to 10 men for the last half an hour, and defeated by Slovakia.
Slovakia wins.
Upset by beating a side that were quarter-finalists 5 years ago. Poland have one of the best strikers in the world, but still didn't have enough firepower to
Wait a minute.
overcome the Slovaks.
5 matches
It was crucial
finished at the
that
same
Poland got
time.
to a good start. They haven't, and tougher tests await. Look at what it means to the Slovakians.
Slovakia 2, Poland 1.
Well strategized performance. Stefan Tarkovic has to take great credit. They will be allowed to savour this moment because it is an opening day victory for Slovakia. They have beaten Poland by 2 goals to 1. That's what it means to Slovakia, the win in St. Petersburg. Only their second ever win at the European Championship. We've got Spain against Sweden kicking off at 8 o'clock tonight. We'll have highlights of that at 10.
Spain versus Sweden coming up in 1 hour and 6 minutes. But Poland 1, Slovakia 2. What happened to Poland there? We don't know. No one knows. I'll see you all hopefully at 8 o'clock for the Spain vs Sweden match. Bye.